Right.
Bob Marley, huh?
Bob.
Sent you 2 emails just now
Okay.
that has like a little brief thing.
Okay. Thank you. I was looking for that. Okay. Got you covered. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll get started in just one moment. Myself.
Okay.
Yes. Give me 1 second. Miss Martha, can you make me a co-host? I don't want to be the host, just a co-host. You're on mute.
Okay, who should I put host?
What people? Amatullah or Fleming.
I make the choice. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
you get to
that's
choose
fine.
which one. You get to choose which one.
Ladies
First
first.
name,
I
first name
knew
on the
you were going to
list.
say, you're such a gentleman, my dear brother.
Yes, of course, my sister.
Go ahead and make me.
Yeah, just make the other 2 of us co-hosts,
Okay.
please.
Oh, now Amatullah has to do it. Has to do the
Okay.
co-host for Fleming.
Okay.
I think. Yes.
Okay, Fleming. Okay. Here we go.
All right. Thank you. Let me make sure I'm co-host, right? Something I want to do. Okay, good. So I think we can get started. Gracias, Miss Marta. Appreciate you. But before we get started, Brother Fleming, would you please give us the honors in just 1 second? First, assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to MAP5. The day is the 8th of December, 2025. We are headed into the home stretch of the Gregorian calendar year. So before we do anything, we will do the one thing that makes everything go the way it's supposed to go. Sir, do the honors for us, please. Bring us in.
We're going to recite the first opening chapter of the Holy Quran, inshallah. Al-Fatiha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Malaki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, sir. Granted some of the East Coast cold. And I blame Brother Fleming. Blame me. I don't have any basis for it. Just that he's always talking about the East Coast. So he's like, yeah.
And the snow is falling here literally as you're talking. I'm looking
Oh,
out
is
the
it? Wow. Okay.
window. It wouldn't be
Yeah,
good for me to have
no.
that kind of power, you know. I would be mankind would be in bad shape.
Yeah, I
Leave it
believe.
up to
I
Allah.
believe. Oh, so welcome to the show, everyone. This morning, we have a good show planned for you this morning. Something that all of us should have and need in our life at some point. Before we get to that, I want to check in and see how you be. So I want to see how everyone be. We're going to start with what's behind me right now. He's one of my favorite sayings, the quotes, and given the weather. And see, we just got the rain out here. We're not getting snow. But Bob Marley's quote, some people feel the rain, others just get wet. When you hear it, what comes to mind? How does that translate for you? I will hold my comments. I want to see it. So not just how it translates for you. Don't get all philosophical on it. You want to know how it hits you. How does
Well,
it hit you?
you asked us how we be. Maybe we be philosophical.
Okay, then say that. Yeah, if you be philosophical, then go ahead, be philosophical. But let me know how it hits you in your chest. And are you feeling, can you feel the water? Are you just standing out there dripping wet, just soaking it? Two questions. So what does it mean to you? Or how does it hit you in your chest? What resonates with you about it? And then which one are you? And just be honest. That's why I want the philosophy. I don't want nobody telling us philosophy. I just want you to be honest. Sometimes I just get wet. I try my best most of the time to feel the rain. There's a photo of me standing outside with the rain coming on my face. Somebody took it. And I love the way it feels. It's very refreshing and it does something to you. Sometimes you get wet. Trying to run to the car, trying to run to the house. Socks wet. Remember when you're a little child, you get to school, your boots didn't do its job and all that snow, Brother Fleming. So let's start. And then Brother William, you're going to participate with us, sir. Okay?
Sure will. Absolutely.
All right, who wants to start? Brother Fleming, since Sister Amatullah agreed to be the host. Your turn. You're up.
Okay.
You're managing the boards for us, so it's your turn.
Well, you know, one specific thing comes to mind. When I was very, very young, about 12 maybe, got my first bicycle and it snowed. Right? First, maybe 12, maybe 11. I went outside in the snow and rode my bike in the snow. I could care less about the snow and the weather elements. I wanted to ride my bike. First bike I ever had in my life. So forget the weather. I'm in the snow. I'm going to enjoy this ride on my new bicycle. I don't know how many times I failed, but it didn't matter. Bounced right back up because life energy was in me. And so I wanted to feel that energy level. And I think that's associated with the elements of weather. Your life energy is a source that's almost somewhat even independent of the weather elements. It just encourages you one way or the other. I know I'm getting a little philosophical, but you know, when your life is filled with energy and you're feeling the, as they say, your oats, or feeling the esteem of just living, the weather elements, they may come on, but they don't really change your heart condition because you're still appreciative of just being real, being alive, being in that moment. So let it rain, let it rain, let it rain. I'm going to ride my bike anyway. That's my 2 cents, and I'm not changing a word.
I love it. I love it. I love it. This time,
I was waiting for you to tell us what kind of bike. Was it a Schwinn or whatever else?
It was one of those Ross, red bike. I never forget it.
Okay, red Ross. All right. When I saw the quote, I took it as a creative person, all immersed in their feelings, and so you would anticipate a creative person to feel the rain. Like you, I enjoy walking in the rain sometimes, depending upon if it's a downpour or if it's that special kind of rain that comes down, not too heavy, not too soft, but it's just right. It can be very refreshing, and it reminds me in my philosophical mode, especially here out in California. You notice how when there's a rain right after, how everything just pops green, just pops, just new life. And so I guess I would put myself in the category, although I don't see myself especially creative. I'm around creative people. I would put myself in those who feel the rain because I try to appreciate it. And thank Allah for the rain, you know. There's some people, sub-Saharan Africa, years and years and years of drought. And I just thank Allah that I'm not in that situation. That's it, complete.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I like it. I like it. All right, Brother William, you're on mute.
I'm unmuted now. There we go. So when I see this quote, some people feel the rain, others just get wet. It really resonates with me specifically in the last few months. But there comes a time in life where you're just going through life. Your day to day, I'm just doing this, But over the last few months, I recently married, and now I'm coming to, alhamdulillah, I've come to the realization that I need to slow down and really allow the experiences of life to just permeate me instead of just existing. We get caught up so much in the day-to-day operations of our lives that we look up and 5 years, 10 years, 20 years is gone, and you look back and you say, well, I did accomplish some things, but how much more would I have been able to accomplish had I just stopped to, uh, as they say, smell the roses? So that's what I get when I see this quote.
Yes, that's so true. Get caught up in the day to day, and it's so easy to get distracted.
It is.
Yeah. I think that's what they say. You hear a lot in the, I guess, among what they call so-called thought leaders and whatnot, as far as living intentionally.
Absolutely.
And we as Muslims, we know that Allah judges us by our intention. So
Yes.
we do have that focus. Sister Martha, you want to jump in? Or Sister Munira? Or Muhammad Sharif?
Yes, I'll be very brief. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. Pray everyone's having a wonderful day. I years ago I would often just hear people, complain that it's raining, and I view to be one of those who are not complaining. Even if I don't want it to rain, the trees want it to rain, the flowers want it to rain, the vegetables in the garden want the rain, the birds want the rain. So I always have a position of gratitude when it rains because it's everything is being blessed with the rain.
Yes.
And I sit in that spot and enjoy the blessings of the rain. So I feel the rain.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Alhamdulillah. Sister Martha has her hand up, and you're on mute, my dear.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I love walking in the rain. Actually, my friends and I in the early years, 15, 16, 17, we used to literally walk in the rain, the soft rain though, and just sing the song, I'm Walking in the Rain. But it also gives a sense of peace to me. I love the earth and I love planting and I love being down on my knees picking beans. I know, go figure. I'll stop right there.
Alhamdulillah.
Brother Muhammad or Brother Kareem?
You're on mute, Muhammad and Kareem, if you're sharing something. We're breaking the ice with a Bob Marley quote of some people feel the rain, others just get wet. Do you, either one of you have a comment that you want to add? No, don't hear
No.
anything from you, Cheryl. So
Yeah, so I just want to say, yeah, and to Sister Manira's point, if you look it up, I looked this up earlier, and it was in Islam, rain is refreshing because it is considered a direct blessing from God. And it not only does it revive the earth, but which is why they go into, when you get even baptisms that occur in the rain, it's considered a spiritual renewal. And it's life-giving, whether it's for humanity or for the plants. Can't live without water. Can't live without it. And so, without getting philosophical, because I don't want to do that, I just think that there's power in standing and being cleansed in the rain. It is an emotional connection. Brother William, thank you so much for attending today. So I want to move to our topic today because we have a lot to talk about. Unless someone has anything else to contribute to this particular thing, but I really want to. Yes. Oh, there he is. Oh, well, what you got for me?
we got feedback.
Yes.
On, okay.
Yes, I'm using my phone as a mic, and I'm just now getting in from a doctor's appointment, and it's very refreshing to hear the conversation that you're having concerning rain. I remember as small children, it would rain outside, and we would stand at the back door and sing this song. Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. But I also remember that when it would rain, the earth gave such a wonderful humus smell. I haven't smelled that in a long time. But the earth would give a wonderful smell. So I just stopped right there. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you for those memories.
Yes, I remember that. And I remember the smell in the spring, especially. I will give you that, Brother Fleming. Well, maybe not not the East Coast, but in the Midwest. You guys lived in the Midwest before. In the Midwest, that smell of fresh rain is you can, and the sound. I just like the sound of it hitting the roof. It's like a lullaby. I can't speak about the hurricanes. They're a whole different lullaby. But the rain itself is really good. All right. I think, is that it, Sister Amatullah? I don't think
we did have a Brother Sharif Wadi.
Okay.
Saying the name correctly. Who has joined us. Brother Sharif, if you want to we're in a segment where we call it breaking the ice, where we ask people to share their thoughts. And Sister Honorable Cheryl Sudduth has posed to us this Bob Marley quote, and our comments or reactions or that we'd like to make on it. Some people feel the rain, others just get wet. So we invite you to either say what group you belong in or what thoughts that you get from that quote from Brother Bob Marley, if you wish to.
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, I was just giving the link to this from Brother Lukman. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia,
Okay.
and I'm a member of Milati Islamic, of course. So,
okay.
yeah, that quote reminds me of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam instruction to make dua in the rain. And when I make dua in the rain, my dua is acceptance. You know, it also reminds me of another narration he gave about if a person were to cleanse himself in the river 5 times a day, would he be clean? And the answer to that was, of course. And so if I were to make salat 5 times a day, would I be clean? So it's a lot that come to mind with, you know, that quote. Rain come down, blessings, of course, from Allah Ta'ala. It's a reminder of growth and prosperity. There's a lot of benefit that comes behind the rain. This is a part of the deen and understanding of Allah's names and attributes, where the whole of his creation benefits from the rain, whether they're Muslim or not. You know, and so, yeah, that's what, I mean, just thinking about it, I didn't know I was coming on to something like this, but yeah, alhamdulillah, that's what I have on that quote.
Well, we thank you for joining us and for your comment, your profound comments.
Yeah, really good. Thank you. And so I want to move to our topic today. But before I do that, I know you're probably wondering why am I talking about rain, which for most of us symbolizes life, renewal, and spiritual connections. In a segment that we're going to be talking about insurance and finance. In a lot of ways, not only does rain signify rebirth and growth and nourishment, because we need it for Sister Manera. She was right about, the crops, livestock. We as human beings need drinking water. And all of it's to sustain our life and support our society. One of the responsibilities we talked about the last two episodes dealt with responsibilities. It was centered around responsibilities under the Constitution, and not just as a Muslim, but in humanity. And I want to talk to you. I asked Brother William to come speak to us as well about this responsibility in another context. Meaning we have a responsibility to ourselves and our families and our society in this other aspect that doesn't typically get always met. How many of you think if I said you are irresponsible, would you raise up your hand? How many of you think yourself irresponsible? Go ahead, throw it high, put 2 of them up. Do you think you're being irresponsible? How many, and now I'm going to let Brother William talk, but this whole context of insurance, not just health insurance, but life insurance, vision, and burial insurance, and handling your finances, total package of finances. It's part of that responsibility factor. And so for those who neglect that part, I'm going to ask that question again after he finished talking. I want to introduce you to Brother William Muhammad. He is the office manager for Sonny Rondawa's State Farm agency. I've known him for a very long time. I've known Sonny, our sons have grown up together for a very long time. And Brother William has over 20 years in finance and insurance and has been voted for the last 4 years in a row. He has more awards, but the fact that he has 4 years in a row as a State Farm Hall of Fame member. So we're dealing with a subject matter expert here. And he's going to impart some of that expertise on us. He's been 32 years in the Nation of Islam, starting with Summit Mosque 7 in Harlem. Sister Amatullah.
Okay.
She knows New York. And he currently serves
I thought he looked familiar.
He currently serves as the first officer in Mosque 26 in Oakland.
Okay.
But the thing that makes him, pretty specially brilliant, Brother Fleming, is he graduated from the University of Missouri in 2001. I just want to say. He graduated from Missouri. Now, I'm an Illini. But the golden black he's okay. My sister's also Mizzou, but he's a Tiger, Missouri Tiger.
That's right.
So I give him props for that. Be better if he was an Illini, but Missouri Tiger is pretty good. Pretty good.
Yes,
and with
ma'am.
that, I wanted to talk to you today. I want you to talk to us today, and I'm going to sit back. I wanted you to first question I'm going to ask you, and then I'm going to let you tell us a little more about yourself. Why finance and insurance? What got you into this?
It was kind of crazy. So first, in the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. I greet you all the greeting words of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Sister Cheryl, for inviting me to this conversation. It's something that our community needs. We need to be realistic about a lot of different things. But if we have expertise in one field, what makes us powerful is our unity and the pooling of our resources. That doesn't necessarily just mean money. It also means if you know something that I don't know, please share it with me so we both can grow. And that's my philosophy. It has been for the last 30 years. But it was an accident getting into finance, but it was very intentional on getting into insurance. My degree, as you've seen, is in journalism. I went to journalism school at University of Missouri because I was infatuated with writing for the Final Call newspaper is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a international correspondent, like a brother, you may know him, it was Larry Forex, but Brother Akbar Muhammad, he's the international representative of Minister Farrakhan. I wanted to do that. However, after I graduated, I found out that you don't make very much money as a journalist, right? Especially starting out. So I had a couple of jobs, and I would do freelance work for the Final Call and the Muslim Journal. At that time, I was living in Chicago, and somebody said, "Man, you got a really good voice. Do you have a degree?" I was like, "Yes." So yeah, why don't you come and interview at this place? And I'm like, okay, it's a job. I had no idea what I was getting into. And I started out at a company called Household Finance. I don't know if y'all remember that or not.
Remember the household finance, yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Yes, yes.
So I was there for a while. I had no idea what I was doing, but within 2 years, I was already a manager over the largest book of business, is what they would call it. It was a $37 million book of business in Louisville, Kentucky. Then within a year of that, I had 4 other branches under my direction, and we would grow them quite extensively because I paid attention, and I went to the clients that nobody else wanted to go to, people that looked like me, right? I figured, well, other people are getting houses. People like me should get houses too. They have the same things I have, so let's go. So then I was recruited by Chase Bank. They saw some work that I was doing and in the community, and I ended up being there for quite a while. And when I left Chase Bank, I was the assistant vice president of the Diversity Council. So my job was to move people through Chase Bank, help them to grow their careers and expand on their portfolios. I was then recruited by Bank of America. I moved here to California, working for them. And really, by this time, I'm tired and kind of burnt out. And really, in truth, when you're working in finance, it is a very, very, very stressful job. And I started researching how can I transfer these skills. And I just started looking at, well, what is something that everybody has to, you have to have it. Everybody has to have it in one way or the other. Insurance. Well, I didn't want to just be a life insurance agent. I didn't want to just do health. I didn't want to just do car insurance. So I got licensed in every kind of insurance. I still use every one of those licenses. I also hold a Series 6, a Series 63, and a Series 67, which allows me to deal with bonds and stocks and things like that. I don't use them, but in my field, I really do have to have them because I do have clients that do those things. So that is how I got into this industry.
Okay.
Wonderful. Missouri is the number one. Well, he's one
At
of the
the time.
top schools for journalism. I got my first scholarship there. I didn't want to go to Missouri, but I just wanted Brother Fleming to know that.
Listen, I was 2 states above you in Iowa at Cornell College, down in Missouri, in that southern state. I was in
See,
Iowa. Thank you very much.
but he did come to the Midwest. He came to the
You
Midwest.
know, I'm
I
from
just
New
want to
York.
put that
I'm
out
just,
there.
I'm
That
just
he
messing
came
with
to the
her, you know.
Midwest.
I'm from New York, but hey, Mizzou got it done for me, man. I can't lie.
So it's interesting because you say everybody needs it. So you may not can't just bank on going to the masjid and doing a plate sale. When I need some insurance, I can't bank on doing a GoFundMe.
That's
Because
true.
that's what you started out by saying this is a really important topic that we need
It
to
is.
discuss here in our community. And I want to just say to everybody, I get it. It's hard to discuss, especially life insurance. I want to start with life insurance and then the others. It's hard to discuss it. And it's hard to discuss it because it's hard to come to grips with the fact that all of us gonna get up out of here in one way. In a box, in a urn, somehow. But we getting up out of here. We're gonna get up out of here. We don't know the time of the date that's been prescribed for each of us. We're gonna get up out of here in one way. And for Muslims, I want you to speak about it in terms of, the, hadith or Quran, whichever way feels comfortable for you, about the responsibility factor. Because I want to make sure we underscore this is not the luxury of insurance, even though it feels like that sometimes. The responsibility factor tied to insurance. And then I want to go back to property insurance, cars, house, and all of that. But specifically, these life and health. Sir,
Yes,
if you
ma'am.
will.
Thank you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Surah 29, the ayah 57, about it says, death is a certainty for every soul, a universal decree from Allah that cannot be escaped. I want everybody here, we're gonna take a little walk because I need to take it out of dollars and cents and put it into a reality. Okay, I want everybody to take a moment, take a deep breath in and out. And I want you to imagine that it is 3 o'clock in the morning and you are sleeping. You're next to your husband, you're next to your wife, you're in the bed alone, your children are downstairs, and the phone rings. You kind of like, okay, what the heck is happening? You don't want to answer. You may be, I don't know what's happening with you, but you don't want to answer the phone, but it just keeps ringing and ringing and ringing. You pick up that phone and there's somebody on the other end. Hello, may I speak to William Muhammad? So this is him. William, do you know Stephanie Johnson? Yes, I do. It's my mother. I'm calling from Harlem Hospital. There's been an accident. Your mother didn't make it. I need you to come and identify the remains. Hang up the phone. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You jump up. All of these emotions are going on inside of you. You look over at your spouse, baby, something's going on. I don't know what happened. I got to go to the hospital right now. You sure that ain't your side piece? Try to make it funny. But no, baby, let's go. I don't know. You're trying to think of who do I call next? I got to call my brother. I got to call my sister. I got to call the sheikh or the imam. I got to call someone. So you're calling while you're driving. You got on your pajamas, your house shoes, trying to put some clothes on. Nothing's matching. You get out onto the street. You're driving, and the whole way there, you're freaking out. You get to the hospital. I need to go to room so and so, 203. There's no one in room 203. We've moved the patient downstairs. So you go downstairs, you walk down this aisle, this hallway. Now it's about 4:30 in the morning, and there's people asking you questions, and you're trying to fill out all of these forms, and just to get back there to see this. And now you go and you stand at this window, and somebody pulls back this sheet. There's the remains of Stephanie Johnson. Stephanie Johnson cannot stay there. What do I do next? Well, you have to call somebody to come and pick up this body. So you'll start calling, they give you a list of names and phone numbers, and you start calling these. Somebody picks up. Can you come and get Stephanie Johnson? Yes, I can come get Stephanie Johnson. When can I can come right away. You hang up that phone. They drive to the hospital. There's a charge for that. They pick Stephanie Johnson's body up and put it on this gurney, and they put it into the vehicle that they're transporting this body. There's a charge for that. To take that body out of that vehicle and take it inside of a funeral home, there is a charge for that. Prepare this body to be seen. There is a charge for that. Mom was not a Muslim. Stephanie Johnson was my mother. May Allah be pleased with her and forgive her of her sins. This is what I had to go through. As a 16-year-old, I had no clue of what to do. My aunts and my uncles and my older sister, who was not as responsible as I was, because I was new to Islam at this time. So I called up my men. I don't know what to do, and they guided me through this process. Well, what can we do? Well, she's not going to get a Muslim burial because she wasn't a Muslim, but, we're going to help you, brother, to take care of this. We're going to help you with this. So how do they help me? Did your mom have a policy? No. Every day that she's staying in that funeral home, there's a charge for it. You got to go get a dress. You got to go get this. You got to get all of these things. They have a cost. My question was that was asked to me, how are you going to pay for this? Thousands of dollars. Maybe about that during that time it was about 7,000 to bury my mother. She had no life insurance, had no kind of policy anywhere, and we had no money. Islam forbids us to have interest. So it's very difficult to talk about life insurance because there are life insurance policies that it's not really interest because it's not that type of um, investment. I hate to say that's what but that's really what it is. Um, they life insurance make dividends and make a profit. So there's a couple of different ways that you could go about insuring yourself. Takaful, which is like you self-insure with the believers of that community. That when somebody returns to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the community has this fund already set together that you have put in, and you take money out to bury this believer. However, most of our communities do not have that. And in fact, I don't know of any that have that. So we leave it up to ourselves and we leave it up to our families. And, there are policies that we as Muslims can get. I'm not going to tell you to go and get a $500,000 or $1 million policy. That's not necessarily what is needed. But we have to be good stewards. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about being a good steward over your finances in Quran. You have to be. What is a steward? Ask yourself that question and clear that word. That means get a real good understanding of the definition of that word and apply it to your own life. How do you take care of? If you have a wife, she needs to be able to be taken care of, especially if she does not work outside the home. Somebody has to take care of her. You have had a wife who has been your helpmeet, and she has been your peace and your comfort for 25, 30 years. You return to Allah, she has never worked outside the home. Now she's forced to go out and get some kind of income somewhere, or pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that another husband comes to take care of her, which may not be a good person. It may take advantage of her. We must be respecters and protectors of our women. We must be. This is what sets us apart from others. I don't want to be offensive to other people, but it sets us apart because we believe that we can rise no higher than our women. She is the first teacher, right? She is the first elevator. We don't know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in when we are just born. We look to mother. She represents Allah to us as a baby. Prophet Muhammad said, "Who is his peace on him?" He talks about one of the companions as it was, who should we look to? Who should we honor besides Allah and you? He says, your mother. He said, well, after that, who? He says, your mother. He asks again the third time, your mother. Then who? Your father. So there are very specific things in our faith that teach us that we must take care of the women, children, and orphans. Orphans are children who are left without parents. How do we do that? You can be independently wealthy and you can leave that money to your children. A lot of us are not independently wealthy where we can take care of a household when we are gone, when we have returned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for 6 months to a year while somebody gets themselves together. Some of us do not have 4,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, depending on where you live, to even get you into the ground. And we don't have a long time to play with that. As Muslims, we know that we have 3 to 7 days, depending on which school of thought you belong to. Do we all agree on that? Right? So it's something that needs to happen quickly. I don't know about you, but I don't want t-shirts with my face on it and some chicken wings on my back being sold to put me in the ground. That's funny, brother Fleming. You can laugh.
Amen.
Right?
No, I agree
I
with
don't
you.
want that.
We-
I don't
He was
want.
wondering if the chicken wings were barbecued or not.
They still got feathers on them.
And I'm
Right?
a vegan, so don't you be selling no chicken for me. I'm a
Man,
vegan.
I want.
Some Brussels sprouts.
Right.
Ooh,
We don't want to have to go out and when we're having to raise money to put someone in the ground, especially someone who has been around. And yes, we've been fasting and we've been praying and we've been charitable and we've done all of the things. But one of the things that we have to do is be good stewards. So maybe our savings weren't there. It's expensive to live in the Bay Area. It's one of the most expensive places to live in the world. It's Bay Area, California. 1 bedroom, $2,500. That's what it costs to live out here. Renting, much less buying a home. A cheap house out here is 700,000. A cheap one. That's a box.
In
And
the
that's kind of
ghetto.
out somewhere, right? So we may not have the ability to save up the type of money that we really need to save up. It takes $7,000 to put somebody in the ground here. That's what it costs. As Muslims, there's no fancy casket. There's no fancy clothes. There's no fancy anything. You know, we have the janazah. Sit. That's 7,000. The reason I know is because I performed these janazas for several believers at our Mosque 26, Oakland and San Francisco. We've had to put this money together for believers who were pioneers in the Nation of Islam. They came in the 50s and the 60s. But we never stopped and said, hey, let me put this little bit to the side. So how do we do that? How do we catch up? Right? I think that we should look at certain types. And those certain types would be term insurance. Term, you can get $100,000 pretty cheap. You can afford it, but when that term is over, it's done. It grows. It has no cash value until someone passes away. Somebody is deceased. It's only time. Then there is something that is called a final expense. Okay. Term as we age is harder to get and it's shorter time. And you have to, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have some kind of medical exam. You're going to have blood work. You're going to have a statement from a physician. You're going to have your analysis, and then they're going to rate you based on that. A lot of us, we may not eat pork, but we eat everything else, right? So Muslims having high blood pressure and heart problems and all kinds of health issues, right? So that may not be the best way to go about it. Final expense, and I hate to say it like that, but that's what it is. Let's be honest. It's a 10,000, 15,000. It's a smaller policy, but it's enough to get us into the ground. And you do not have to have any kind of underwriting. You don't have to have blood work. You don't have to have your analysis. Everybody can get it. You just got to be over the age of 45. You can purchase one of those policies. They're fairly reasonable. I think the most expensive one was an 81-year-old sister, and hers was $211 a month. Okay. Which most people, if you've been around in this industry or you've asked the questions, you know that the older you are, the more expensive it gets. That $205, $211, $180 policy that you get when you're 60, 70 years old costs you $34, $40 when you are 45. You get life insurance when you're young because it's cheap, and it will remain that amount until a final expense policy will last the entirety of your life, and it will only pay out when you pass away, as long as you keep up the premiums. So that is something that I would look at, for Muslims. When they're non-Muslims, of course, they run the gambit. You have these universal lives, which I completely disagree with 100%. I've never sold one. I will never sell one. Doesn't matter how much money you have or you want to pay me. I do not believe in them. They are bad for you. They are bad for our community. That's why they push them on you. How many people have heard of universal life? It is the worst financial decision you will ever make in your entire life. I have looked at every single one of them in two different agencies, Berkeley and El Sobrante. El Sobrante is the #1 state farm in Northern California. It will do more business in that office than 15 agencies combined. Berkeley, the office that I'm sitting in, is the oldest standing state farm in the history of State Farm. 100% of the universal lives have lost money, and not even like a little bit. They have lost a lot. So you will always lose money. So don't
So,
get into that. If somebody's trying to sell you one, saying, "Oh, it meets it meets the needs of Muslims," no, it doesn't. In fact, it's the opposite. That is truly a gamble. So we don't want anything with riba or interest. We want to put everything together in a way that is not offensive to us as Muslims, but definitely not offensive to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we
Brother
can't,
William, hold on
yeah,
just one
I'm
moment.
sorry.
I want you to explain what universal life really is.
It's a
Because
gamble.
you see it all over the television, right? It's
Right.
like, especially if you're up late at night and you can't sleep, and so you flicking the channel, and it's like
Reverse,
every two
reverse mortgages,
commercials.
reverse mortgages,
Yes,
and
reverse mortgage or
universal
borrow
life.
from your insurance, all of that. But what is the concept of universal life? Just so
Okay,
we have the listeners can
so
understand.
universal life. Okay, I got to make it as simple as I can. Let's say I have a bucket, 3 buckets, right? And in these 3 buckets, they have a spout on it. Like when we're having the iftars and everybody's got they have the punch in the thing, you open it up and get the juice out, right? Okay. Now imagine all of the liquid going in there. That's your premium. And the only time that you can get something out of that is when somebody passes away. You open up the spigot, it comes out and shuts right off. Well, that's not necessarily how universal life works. To a degree, it does, but then the way that it comes out is a little bit different. They don't just take the premiums that you put in there. They take your premiums and they go invest it in whatever they're going to invest it in, whether it's futures, agricultural futures, which could include pork, or it could be some type of there's a lot of different things that they invest the money in. I could be here all day talking about that, but they are hoping to get more money than what they put in. So it's really kind of like gambling with your life insurance. Most of the times, well, actually, every time that I've seen it, if you're not putting, you got to put more money in to make sure that you maintain that face value of the policy. So let's say you have a $100,000 policy, and they say, okay, your payment's going to be $50 a month. Well, if you put $50 a month, you're taking all of that $50, you're investing it in something that may or may not have a return. And if it does not have a return as fast as they want to, they'll take from the face value of that policy. So instead of you having this 100,000, now you got 90,000. Okay, it didn't pan out. Well, we're gonna do it again. Okay, you got 80,000 now. Oh, it didn't pan out. It's gonna do it again. Okay, $70,000. Okay, this one worked a little bit, so we now got 75,000. And okay, well, this doesn't work, so I'm gonna put that. This is how this works. This is a gamble that you have no control over. And the only way to keep your face value, which is the amount of the policy, is if you fund it all the time. So you can't just put your $50 in there. You have to put your 50 and wait another week, put another 100, add another 50 here, add 25 here, and keep on doing it multiple times a month for you to be able to see any kind of return on that, or even really just to keep it where it's supposed to be at that particular time. I don't have that kind of time to do that, nor do I want to do that. I don't think that's a safe thing. Allah gives us this one life. We only have this one, that we're here on this earth. The next life is the hereafter. We don't have, I can't control what happens in the hereafter, but Allah can give me what I need to control some of the things here on this earth with his permission. And I don't want somebody else who probably hates Muslims having that much control over what happens when I pass away when it comes to my finances. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
Thank
believe,
God.
my dear, loved, and respected brothers and sisters, I don't care if it is your son or your daughter. I don't care if it is your best friend. I don't care if it's somebody you have known for 50 years. Do not ever buy this kind of insurance, ever. This is not for us. This is for someone else, but it's not for us. Okay? It's a
So
very dangerous game. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have you pause for a second, just so we can check in with everybody before I have you move to the next topic. But if anyone has any questions, you can raise your hand. You can go to React and raise your hand to ask a question, or you can simply put it in chat. Either way. I also wanted you to, oh, well, there we go. My hands came up kind of fast, didn't they?
All right.
Mr.
All right.
Amatullah, uh, Amatullah, you will be first, and then Sister Manira, you're after. Go
I
ahead,
just
Sister.
wanted to say, Brother William, I would suggest that you contact Sheikh Abdul Rauf at Masjid Warthin. He has a contact name for the type of fund that you mentioned. There is
Yes.
one that comes out from the South Bay,
Yes.
but anyone can join it. And
Yes,
so
ma'am.
he could put you in contact with that, to be able to recommend those
Yes,
who
ma'am.
want to use that route.
Alhamdulillah. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Actually, I'm going to be talking with him next week sometime.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
I
he's a
think it's
good brother. I love him so much.
Yeah, it's San Francisco Muslim something. I can't remember the rest of the the rest of it. But the way that he explained to me that it works, because I was considering doing it, is you put in $100, I believe, for the number of people in your family that you're insuring,
Mhm.
and they put it in a fund. So I'm imagining that this fund they probably invest. Um, they then when someone passes, everyone puts in a chunk for the person who passes.
Right.
But you have to be a member of that
Yes.
association.
And that's exactly how all insurance works. All of it does. Well, not all, not the universal, but that's how insurance works in general.
And then I did see advertised, I intended to look after it, but I never made contact with them. It's from the Midwest, and I think it's called maybe Evergreen Insurance. It's supposed to be a Muslim insurance
I've heard of them. Yes.
company. So that's all I had to say.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sister Manira.
Yes, again, assalamu alaikum. Thank you for
Alaikum
this
salam.
topic. You know, I have a question. Would it be possible to get a group burial plan for the IWDM community?
Yes.
For for everyone, for a national plan
Yes.
for group burial.
Yes, you can. Actually, you have to have at least 5 people, and you would go under the name of your masjid would be the parent policy holder, but everybody would be just like it would on your job. You can absolutely do that. In fact, I just did that for 2 of our mosque, number 1 in Detroit, and for Mosque 7C, which is in Brooklyn. Um, the student ministers there had me do a similar Zoom, and then we got everybody's information. Those who have been around for a while. You don't want people who are there, for a little bit. They're not really serious about it, or they Muslims for 2-3 weeks, and then they want to go back to being wild people, whatever it is, right? So we don't want that in. I can't tell them not to, but you want people who are going to be around, right? Because every month there is a premium that you'll pay into it. And the good thing is you don't have to have, no one has to be underwritten. You are going to be insured, just like you would at work. You don't have to take a blood test. You don't have to take a urinalysis. You don't have to do anything. You just have to sign up, and everybody will pay the same rate. So whether you're 65 or 70 or you're 25, everybody will pay the same rate, and it will be a master policy, and each person's would have maybe 50,000, 75,000, something like that. And it will exist as long as you are, and you can always add people and pull people off of it too. You can maintain it. So as you have new believers to take Shahada and join into your mosque, into your pool, once they've been there, you trust that they are going to do the right thing. They tend to be charitable. Those are the types that we would want to put in there, and it will make it really, really cheap for everybody. I think for mosque number 1, I think the total was 681, and there was 71 believers who took part in it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does
so
the
it's
cost
fairly
go
reasonable.
down? Does the cost go down as the number of enrollees increase?
Not necessarily come down, but it's not going to increase. It only increased by that one person. So I want you to think about this, right? When we're talking about insurance, there's no such thing as this is not a not for profit. Insurance companies are going to make money one way or the other, either as a flat rate, or they're going to make money off of dividends, or however they're going to do it, right? This one just happens to be flat rated. So I would absolutely look at that. If you're interested, find somebody who is familiar with doing it. I am, but that doesn't mean you need to go with me. You do your research, and I can point you to some places. If you're not comfortable with me, that's fine. But find somebody that you are comfortable with, and then have the real conversation with the leadership of your masjid. And if they have questions, they're welcome to call or even stop by my office. I'm happy to talk with them. Cheryl knows I have an open door, right?
Yes.
So I want to make sure that we're all comfortable with what it is that we're doing. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome, sister.
So let me ask it on that same level. So, yeah, it's 11. Good. It's time for this question. We've all, most of us, I can't speak for everybody, but a lot of us have had those instances where the identified leader of the masjid, the mosque, the community center, the Muslim community center, has dedicated their life to the community.
Mhm.
And when something happens to them, there's nothing. There's no
Right.
insurance. It's on their family, or it's up to the community to now come together to quickly, as you said, in a few days, do fundraising to raise the money for it. What I've always been interested in, and I wanted, and Sister Amatullah and I were on with the Western Imams Conference. Is that what it's called?
Western region.
Western Region Imams Conference. And I mentioned this to them while we were still in COVID a few years ago, is having a fund. Whether it's life insurance, and I actually want to expand it because I also want you to talk about the other kind of insurance, not just life insurance, but life insurance. Some of us have that it might not be Aflac, but that Aflac kind of insurance in case you get injured at work, you have a disability, you stay off work for a long
Right.
time, you have temporary disability from a pregnancy or adoption of a small child, things like that. But they don't have that. Our imams don't have that insurance.
Right.
So what can we do collectively in the same vein as what you talked about, having it at the masjid level?
Mhm.
Really interested in having, and we can broach it now and have an extended conversation with some regionally. Really interested in how we can support
Sure.
those who have given their livelihood, their life to the community,
Mhm.
and then when something happens to them, they don't have the means.
Yes, ma'am. Well, that is a very it really, alhamdulillah, is a beautiful topic to have a discussion about. So there's a couple of things that we can look at, right? One, there is a fund in the Nation of Islam. It's called the Number Two Poor Charity. Okay. And everybody puts something to the Number Two Poor Charity. And the Number Two Poor Charity is specifically for widows and orphans in the Nation of Islam. It is for the maintenance of those who are confined to the labor of Islam. That's
Wait a minute,
all.
say that again. I
They're
like the way you said that.
confined to the labor of Islam. They don't
No.
work outside of the mosque or the temple or the study. This is what you do for a living, right? You have to
That's
have a place to live. You have to have food to eat. You
yes.
have to have, and so we don't want to just take a general thing for that. It has its own specific thing. Now that works in the Nation of Islam most of the time. I like to donate to it because we have members of the nation that I personally know that are very dear friends of mine, and that's how they take care of themselves and their families. Now, there is a certain type of insurance policy that really deals with corporations or businesses, and the Nation of Islam, it says when we pay our charity online nationally, it says the Nation of Islam in the West Incorporated. So if it says incorporated, it means it's a what? Business. It
Right?
has a
It's a
business
business.
entity to it, right? So I work for Sunny, and I do a lot of business, right, for Sunny. Sunny's not here most of the time. So if I am to leave, there is a huge, or something were to happen to me, God forbid I walk out this door and I get hit by a car and I'm gone. There is a huge burden that is not only going to be placed on my wife and my child, but a burden that's on his business. So we're going to take the word business and we're going to replace that word with mosque or masjid, right? Sonny has an insurance policy on me, on my life. It's not huge, but it's going to take time to find a replacement for me. Everybody doesn't come with my kind of background. Everybody doesn't come with my kind of work ethic. So everybody is not going to be like your imam. Your imam opens up that door at least 5 times a day, right? He studies all day to make sure that the Juma is something that you can use, not just talking about something from 1400 years ago, but to make that relevant to your life today. He does all of these things. You go to him for your counseling. You go to him to perform janazas. You go to him. He's an employee of he's a servant to you. Our leadership are servants to us. It's not that they want to ride around fancy, because most of them don't. Most of them are very pious and they live very humble lives. So how do we take care of them? In that group insurance, there is a caveat in it that will allow for that, for you to have a life policy on him. But then you can actually, as long as there's an insurable interest, you got to remember those words, insurable interest, you can have a life insurance policy on anybody. But you have to have and prove an insurable interest. So it can't just be somebody walking down the street. It's got to be somebody that you are connected to somehow. Our imams and ministers and sheikhs and mullahs are connected to us. So we have the ability to do so. But then we have to also, hey, what if he's coming down the stairs and he slips, he falls, he has to go to the emergency room? Well, there needs to be some kind of money for that. State Farm does have a policy for it. Aflac, there's a bunch of them. It's called hospital indemnity plans, right? So it will pay you $250 a day for a few days while you get yourself back together. So let's say this accident happens, you fall, you go to the emergency room. It's $250 for that day. When they say, well, you got to go to intensive care, that $250 turns into $500 because now you have more needs. That doesn't go to the hospital. That comes to you because you still have rent to pay. You still have a mortgage to pay. You still have a car note. You still have car insurance. You still have to eat. And if you're not working, you're not earning money, how do you pay for these things? Well, let's say that not only are you in the emergency room, but you're going to be there for a while. You're going to be in the hospital for 2 or 3 months. Every day you're going to get this $500. It doesn't exhaust. It just keeps going. But it only ends after 365 days. Then that's when long-term disability insurance will kick in. And that will pay you a certain amount of money, right? To replace your income while you're disabled. So each person is different. The way that it's structured is different. You want to have your insurances built around you and your specific needs. If it's on your own, if it is for your imam, you need to have a real conversation. Like, what are your real needs here? And give him time to think about it. Don't ever rush into it. It's not going anywhere. It'll be here, inshallah. So take your time and really kind of walk through it. And if they're not sure, call me and I'll start giving you all questions specifically to ask. Ask this, ask this. Worst case scenario, what can we do? We got to also look at what your budget is, because it sounds good to have $1 million policy, but can you pay for it? Can you pay for it for an extended period of time? Can you pay for it for 20 years, 30 years until it indemnifies? That's the question, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of people that will put all of these things together and ask you all of these questions. Do you want your children to go to Harvard, or do you want them to go to Duke? None of that means anything if you can't pay for it. So let's be good stewards of our money and not overspend, thinking that we're going to get something big in the end. That's not our reward is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not with State Farm. This is just to get us into the ground. This is just to make sure that we're able to take care of our family should we get injured or hurt. This is to make sure that I can replace my vehicle if I'm in a car accident. This is to make sure that I'm being put back to where I was, to put my life back where it is. It's not for gain that way. Does that make sense?
It does. And so with that, what about the other kinds of insurance? Because some of the other things that I see and that that makes conversations hard are making sure that the entity, the not only you personally, but the entity, right? The masjid, the Muslim community center, the mosque, that it's properly covered. What other
Yes.
kind of things like workers' comp or E&O insurance or liability or property insurance for the buildings or the things that people don't and whatever's inside of the building, but then the other things
Absolutely.
that people don't like discussing, we call it SAM here, as the sexual assault and molestation insurance, the abuse insurance, the sexual misconduct, the employee benefits, workers' comp,
Absolutely.
copyright infringement, in case you went to sleep and you heard something and you went to sleep but you had a television program on and it seeped into your consciousness. So you wake up and you say, "Oh, I got a great about today," not realizing that you're repeating something from someone else
Right.
because, and then the other couple of that I wanted you to also, because I want people to be aware of everything that's needed, right? To be responsible. Auto insurance, whether it's commercial, if you have a what do you call this, like a van or bus or something like shuttle at your masjid, or regular automobile insurance if you're paying for the
Absolutely.
imam's car. And then the last couple is, like you said, for us, it would be off work. But what about if the business is interrupted? This is where we saw this problem, and Sister Amatullah, this is what I was talking about during COVID,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
So it was interrupted. And so what all of those coverages, I just wanted you to touch on them really quick, and then I'm going to turn it over and let people ask questions.
Sure. So that is very vast, and each one of them work a little bit differently. But one of the things that you want to make sure is every year, for each type of insurance that you have, you come into your agent's office and you have them to sit down and explain every line. There are some things that you need, some things that you don't need. And you may not have had any changes in your life in that year, but that doesn't mean that this company didn't have changes in that year. How many people have experienced their car insurance going up? Right? That's because there's a change. You're driving more, you're driving less. You've moved to a neighborhood that has a history of break-ins and thefts. You've moved away from a neighborhood or a zip code. You have more years of driving. You had a car accident that was your fault. There's lots of different things that will make a change in a premium. So you should be looking at what that is, and don't underinsure yourself. I have a client, and the most important thing, if you don't do anything else, if you drive, make sure that you have car insurance, especially here in the Bay Area. We have a client that had, this is just last week, and it happens just about every week. I'm sure I probably have received 3 or 4 calls already this morning about it. But we have clients that, to save money, they'll say, "Oh, I just want liability. I only want liability insurance." That means if you hit somebody, it will take care of this other person who you don't know. It'll take care of their things. That's what your liability is for. She said, "I wanted to save some money, so I'm going to, and I'll counsel. You sure this is what you want to do? I can do this. I can adjust these things and make it a little cheaper for you. Whatever it is. No, my cousin told me to get liability because this car is 10 years old. That's all I have to have." Okay. And I don't want this much. I want it to go down to whatever the state minimum is. Just give me the minimum. Okay. Yes, ma'am. She has an accident. She's at fault. They sue her. That $30,000 doesn't go very far in a lawsuit because she's injured. So where do you think that money comes from? Your car insurance is not going to pay for it. It comes out of your pocket, or they will put a lien on your property, or they will take it. That's what happens. All right. So make sure that you have the right coverage for you and your family. You know, if somebody's vehicle is stolen, that's what, you know, you have liability and you have comprehensive. That's what your comprehensive portion is for. When you're dealing with businesses, there are several things that you can control, right? You may be very pious and you may be very, you have the sun, moon, and stars written on your hijab and on your thobe. You got you Muslim to the core, right? But you hire somebody, you hire Ray Ray because you're trying to help Ray Ray out. He just took his shahada, but he ain't all the way cleaned up. But so he's trying to, and he makes a pass at one of your clients. The client says, "Oh, I know this didn't happen. We're in 2025. People sue in California for everything. That's a sexual harassment lawsuit. There is an insurance that you can get that will protect your business from that kind of unsavory behavior. Because Ray Ray want to be silly and not on his dean. Now you got to lose your business. You can't just fire them because they're not suing Ray Ray. They're suing you because you're in charge. When Ford or GMC or any other company has a problem, they don't fire the janitor. They don't sue the janitor. They sue who's in charge, right? They fire who's in charge, right? You're in charge. And it could be some things that you have no idea. Keyman Insurance, Brother Fleming. I've heard of them. I'll do some research and I'll send it out to you. Okay. I have heard of them. I've heard that they're good, but I don't know that to be a fact. I'm answering questions in the chat. But I'll find out for you, Brother Fleming. Is that okay? All right. So all of these insurances, you have to really sit down with yourself, go over what do I have, what needs to be protected. What can I afford to spend a month on these things? And then allow somebody to help build out your portfolio. Because if you drive, you have to have car insurance. It's a law, right? And just about, I think in every state except for maybe one. And it's probably it's probably going to be a law there soon too, right? If you own a home, unless you self-insure and you can prove that you can self-insure, your home has to have homeowners insurance. So all of these policies, if it's not car insurance, life or health, it is called a fire policy. So whether business insurance is a fire policy, homeowners insurance is a fire policy, workers' comp is a fire policy, all of these things. So when you hear fire policy, that could mean a whole lot of different things, right? Find out what these people are talking about and have them and the way that I say it is, explain it to me like I'm in the third grade. Don't use fancy terms. Tell me, what does this do? How does this work? And if your insurance agent cannot do that or won't do that, you need to find another one. Fair? And it thumbs up if it's okay.
Yeah,
All right.
That's perfect. Thank you. That's exactly the kind of conversations we need to have.
It worked for you.
Yes.
Without you, you're in charge. I just be clear. You're in charge. Nobody moves until you say yes. Nobody. You're in charge, and you have to know that. They work for you, just like an attorney. They work for you.
They work for you. And what I have a lot of friends who live in Southern California, a lot of colleagues, a lot of people on water boards with me. And we had this conversation where well educated, and we all are, professionals in some right. But when those Eaton and Pasadena fire, when those fires burned up Southern California, people were faced with exactly what you're talking about, being not only were they underinsured, some were convinced by their agents, you don't need this much insurance, or you
That's
don't need,
great.
or the whole reverse mortgage thing. So or they found out that the insurance that you bought in 1971 when you bought your house will not get you a rebuild in 2025.
That's
So
true.
talk to us about the checkups. When should we be checking up? How should we be
You should
checking
do it
up?
every year, a minimum of once a year. But anytime that you feel uneasy about a thing, uh, I do hold a national title in the Nation of Islam, which kind of is segueing into this. It helps with this. I'm the national coordinator for the Nation of Islam's Ministry of Health and Human Services. So I teach disaster preparedness classes all over the country, what to do before, during, and after a natural or man-made disaster. We present every year at Savior's Day. You're welcome to look at those videos and things like that or whatever. But one of the things that I stress is looking at every single one of your policies a minimum of once a year. And that is, and keep a copy of a policy in your go bag. Keep a policy in your shut-in kit. Keep a copy of your policy somewhere at your job, or if you're in business for yourself. Keep a copy of these things in different places, because if there's a fire, all that canning that you did is going to mean absolutely nothing. If there's an earthquake, you're not going to be able to get to these things, right? So you got to know what you have. Number one, you got to know, because you have to ask when it's time for a claim to be made. They're just not going to figure this stuff out for you. They don't know what you've added to your house, what you did to your home in 1971. I guarantee you have bought some new things since 1971. Right? And there's portions of your homeowner's policy that will take care of your personal effects. There's a caveat in your homeowner's insurance that will give you a place to live while they rebuild. There are lots of different things that's in it. That's why you get the renewal page and it's little, right? But if you actually get a copy of the policy, it's thick.
Right.
Right? And it tells you we cover all of these things. And you need to, if you don't know what you're looking at, if you're in the Bay, you come over here and see me. I'm not even going to convince you to go somewhere else. I'm just going to tell you how to fix what the problem is.
Right.
I can look at it in 2 minutes and see it, because that's my profession. Just like if it's something dealing with the sciences, Sister Cheryl can, in 2 seconds, she knows what it is. That's the pooling of our resources that we have to get back to. So, all right, brother, look, hey, man, I'm unsure about this. Okay, well, let's look at it. I have a man, my son wants me to get this reverse mortgage, because it's going to pay me this amount of money. Okay, well, let's look at it. Right? Let's look at it. The reverse mortgage does the opposite of what you want it to do, really. It does the opposite of what you want it to do. When you return to Allah, your family does not get anything. They don't get to sell that property. They don't get to live in that property. They don't get to do anything with the bank takes it. And then they sell it. And then they gather that money along with what you've been paying in premium for whatever time. This earth only has 57,255,000 square miles of land, and they're not making any more. Stop selling your property.
I'm gonna quote that one. I like that. I like that.
Something that we have to do.
Yeah. And then what about and then even with health insurance, right? You buy that health insurance, you just sign off on the paper they give you at your office, right? But what kind of things should we be looking at as if we're fortunate enough, all of us should be getting older.
Right.
And what kind of things? Because I know self is different than 25 years ago.
Sure.
When I started out as a youngin', Brother Fleming, just youngin'. And then, you look and life's changed. 3 children and 4 if you count my husband. It's a lot of us. So
Right.
how do we caught that?
Oh
Caught
my
that.
God.
It's been busy.
So how do we, when should we be taking stock of that, right? I know we're going to take stock as like,
Early and often.
but you're having
You
babies, having all of this. Talk to us.
Every time, okay, for a man and a woman married, every time they have a child, there needs to be a review, and there needs to be an insurance put. When you get married, there needs to be a review of both. Actually, you really need it before you get married, so that everybody knows what you're actually dealing with.
Right.
Because, I've seen examples where the brother looks sharp. He got the crisp suit on, a white shirt, bow tie. His hair got that little part like Mr. Farrakhan. He looked good, right? But the brother ain't got no money, right? He selling. He think the incense is gonna pay for all of these babies being born, and man, we gotta do a little bit better than that, right? The sister didn't have him checked out. He done had 4 wives. All of them done left him because he couldn't pay no bills, right? He wasn't being a responsible brother, right? So, or the brother didn't check the sister out, and she got so much debt, and he doesn't know that all of this stuff is coming with it because she's so beautiful. This is the love of my life, and you really just want to have legal fornication instead of actually joining the two together. We got to deal with the reality of our wives, our spouses, are there are investments in ourselves, right? And there are some things that we can work with, and there's some things that we can't work with, right? So if I had to do an extensive background on my wife. I want to meet your parents. Do you have both parents? How are they set up? How do they live their life? Because you're a reflection of your parents, of your upbringing, right? Okay, did she go to school or not go to school? It's not really that important to me, but she did. She has her master's. So I'm like, okay, well, that means that she has earning potential. So I don't have to pay for as much stuff. Some of the purses that she wants, she'll just go and buy them herself. Of course, I found that not to be true.
No.
You see her hand does this a
No.
lot. And I'm happy to do it, right? Because she does bring me so much peace, right? But I have to also look at what is it really going to take to make sure that my family is secure. There's one thing that all children do. That's fall. Every one of them. Like Brother Fleming did on that bike, right? They all fall. You know what else children do? They get sick. You know what else they do? They need uh, diapers and underwears and all those other things. So you want to make sure that you're reviewing these things at a minimum of once a year. And every time that there's a change in your family, you buy a new car, you buy a house. Don't just review that one thing, review everything. Okay, because they all work together.
I like that. And I'm going to invite the audience in. First, I'm going to invite the co-host in, and then I'll invite the audience in to ask your questions in this last half an hour. I do want to say that to everyone, it is so important. Coupled with this, we're not talking about this today, but I am going to, we will have a future session on this. Is just as important to have a durable power of attorney, to have and to have a will, which is, I know people don't like thinking about it, but like I said, you're gonna get up out of here one way or the other. Either with you recognizing that you need to do some things to be responsible, or you're not. The results are going to be the same. And you also need to make sure, my mother taught us when we were really young, because she did it, and she told me where everything is. The insurance, the different insurances, like from work. Most of you have some kind of insurance on your banking. You just need to go look. And you have the opportunity to get additional insurance there, your health insurance, your life insurance. I believe I have life insurance policies through my bank, same with you, brother Muhammad, is many of us are insured based on our talents. You hear about musicians being insured for their throats, dancers being insured for their feet and legs. Uh, and the other thing, you just want to make sure that your for those who do not come from an all Muslim family, you want to make sure that how you would like to um, be buried, however you want that you want a janaza, all of that needs to be in writing somewhere. It has
Oh
to
yeah.
be dictated, and even the best way is to have it not only codified but have a what do you call the seal put on it. I've watched
Notarized.
families be torn apart because somebody wants to burn the body, cremate, or
Cremate.
somebody wants to give a different type, whether it's a Christian funeral and they don't care, they just throw them in a box, or it's because they start looking at that price tag, a Muslim, and so I think that part of this, the next part of this will be discussing all of those things that we may not want to discuss. My mother told me when I think I was about 10, she was dealing with uterine cancer. And she told me that where everything was. And then she also said I even started drafting my obituary. And I remember when I was young thinking, well, I don't want to hear about this. And then she kept telling us over, and I'm child number 4 out of 6, but I'm the one who gets the least squeamish. And we went, and so I even have that. This is the way I wanted to read. This is so nobody's sitting here trying to figure it out for you.
Right.
I wanted to say that. Now, so Sister Amatullah and Brother Fleming, you have any questions you want to ask the guests before we go to the audience or comments? Easier.
Well, I'd like to thank Brother William for his very thorough um, presentation that was very informative. And as he said, it's really something that we need to know to be better stewards of our lives. Um, and yes, some people don't want to even talk or think about uh, death and the transition. And I appreciate his sharing his experience with his mother because it was authentic, And as a teenager, that's a wall. That is a knock in the head to try and have to deal with. So I appreciate his sharing that with us. And there's so many people, I guess the longer you live, you realize more people are dying, 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 dying. And so we just have to, we just have to be real about it and deal with it. That's all.
I have a quick question. Uh, how many of you all came through the Nation of Islam during the pioneer days prior to 75? Do you all remember that there was only one person that went all around the country doing Muslim burials? It was only one.
Wow.
Now you
Wow.
see the difference in time. We're all getting older. I'm 47. I'll be 48 next month. I'm still very young, but 32 years of a particular thing is a long time. And think about how many people that we have seen that we come up with that are gone. This is my brother Kevin. Hey, can y'all see? You see how young he is? That was the picture that he took at the mosque in Atlanta 1 week before he returned to Allah. He was my best friend. We've been best friends since I was 16 years old. His mother had no insurance on him. We were both 46 when he returned to Allah last year. Both of us. Birthdays around the same time. It's never too early to start talking about this stuff and putting things into place, okay? It's important. Get a plan together.
Absolutely. I insured my children when each were born.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to also thank our brother for the comprehensive presentation. I was reflecting when you made the comment about your mother, because I went through something similar with my mother and father. That's why I had to look at my face. My face speaks for me sometimes. But very similar situation. We had to take care of the insurance because neither one of them had insurance. But we're just fortunate in a position to have enough money within the family to take care of it. But one thing I want to ask you specifically, when you have your end of life insurance, one of the greatest benefits is that you can define specifically how you want that process to take place.
Absolutely.
It's very important. My son-in-law works for Lincoln Heritage, and so we get all the kids insured some time ago. We bought them plots. Everybody has a plot because that's another expense people don't think about until you have to entomb someone.
You have to do it.
So you need to have that. And then the last thing, we filed our will years ago in the county, and I have a will, my security box in the house. But by all means, have a will. And I had to convince some brothers. I said, please go back and read the longest surah we have in Holy Quran, how detailed it is about wills, who gets what percentage of that. That was very, very detailed for our benefit.
Absolutely.
So you should take a note from that in your own personal life. Detail your final arrangements. I've been in this community since I was 13. I'm 73 now by the grace of Allah. I know one brother in Atlanta that the community had him insured with a retirement package when he stepped down as imam. One brother. Now others may have it, but they made sure he had a full comprehensive insurance package. He had a retirement package, a whole 9 yards that you would do for any. And we have a similar experience. I worked in Wall Street for a while too at Chase. We'll talk about that on another occasion. Since my sister from the West Coast want to occupy the conversation, we have a time to talk another time. So let me turn it back over to my beloved sister from the West Coast.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see. Okay, now the audience. If you have any questions, thank you so much. This has been extremely helpful. So the audience, I see you coming on the screen, Miss Martha.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing?
Salam.
Thank you, Cheryl. Allahu Akbar. Greetings to everyone on the line, and especially your guest today. It's highly informative, Brother William Muhammad. So my first brief question is, I would love to get contact information from you, how to be in touch. I have some questions and opportunities I would love for you to come forward and participate with us in. My name is Mahasin Abdul Salam. I'm in the New York area, the Bronx.
All right.
And
I'm from Harlem.
is that right?
I'm from
wow.
Harlem.
Well, my husband was born and raised in Harlem. So, Brother Zaid Ahmed Khan. So pleased to meet you. You remind me a lot of him. So anyway, the whole visual thing. Alhamdulillah. May Allah bless you and your family.
Thank you.
So very critical information and very succinct information you gave. So I have an organization called Bliss, and it's the third stage of marriage, hopefully, that we're able to counsel and provide, do coaching and preparation for. But I've run across certain patterns and threads in preparation for marriage is that that I find a loss of an attitude of men taking total responsibility in their approach or proposal stage, what we call the premarital contract stage.
I'm listening, so continue to talk, but I have to address somebody at my door. Go ahead.
No problem. And so if by the Quran, and we know that to be the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help us Allah, men are stated to be the maintainers and protectors of women, not only women, but of course the families that come with them. So if that is the case, we need a certain adjustment, I believe, and I want to know what you think in the dialogue of when writing the contract. It appears like a job. What do you call it?
Application.
Job
Assessment.
application, right?
A job application instead of a role fulfillment.
Right.
So go ahead. Mhm.
Well, anytime that we begin anything, we should begin that conversation with a prayer, a dua, right? That Allah guides us into the way that He wants us to move. With the brothers, we get caught up in something. I don't want to say it's male chauvinistic, but it kind of is. We treat Islam like it's a buffet, right? I
Mm,
want this
mm,
corn, but I don't want these mashed potatoes. I want this salad, but I don't want these olives, right? I don't want those olives. I
mhm,
don't even like olives.
mhm,
I want this, I don't want that. We pick and choose. But what makes a good Muslim is to be able to encompass all of it and apply it to our lives, right? Modern
mhm,
day.
mhm, mhm,
Allah bless us with a fork. Some people's hands is dirty.
mm,
Yep.
Principle is eat good food and be clean. Prophet Muhammad rode a horse and camels. We drive Mercedes Benzes and Fords and Toyotas. The principle
mhm.
is have a reliable means of transportation. You don't hear about Khadija, may Allah be pleased with her, or any of Prophet Muhammad's wives being responsible for him. He was responsible for all of them.
That's right.
We have to
That's right.
start there. If we're going to follow the sunnah, let's for real follow the sunnah. Don't play with it.
Mhm,
The conversations have to be had, and it should be led by who is going to lead the household. It should be the man leading the household. That's what
mhm,
Islam
mhm,
teaches us, right? But that doesn't mean
mhm,
you're the boss. A good
mhm.
leader listens to counsel. There are things that sisters see that we don't. There's things that brothers see that sisters don't. And to have the realistic conversation is very, very, very important before you get started. But let's say you're so excited, you're so in love, and okay, we get into it. Now we're excited. Right, we're married now. These verses of Quran have been read. We're together. You got to have that conversation, and it can be guided by a set of questions, but you got to
Yes.
take the emotion out of it. There's a study guide that we use on Friday evenings when we get together. And study guide number 18 is rising above emotions into the thinking of Allah. What does Allah say about these things? If you notice, like
Mhm.
what Brother Fleming was saying, there is the longest surah in Quran details what to do in a contract. And guess what? There's no emotion with it. It's
Right.
just do this and do that.
I love that. I love that. We often hear about it all the time, go to the source, go to the source, go to the source. But many of us go
Yeah.
to what is easy, not what is right. Hold on just a second, Sister Mahasan, because I have another hand. Give me 1 second. So we like to do what is easy rather than what is right. And
Absolutely.
sometimes it's not easy having that conversation with yourself. Again, you're gonna get up out of here.
That's
And
right.
you have to take care of that business. If you call yourself a good uh, business person or responsible, that is something that defines responsibility. Let me get Sister Amira and Shahid in here.
Oh,
Sister,
oh,
And while
oh,
you're doing
okay,
that,
but
I'm putting my
I did have
contact
a
information
give
in
me
the
just a
oh,
second, Sister Mahasan. Just give me 1 second. I get it, but I really want to get these questions in because we only have about 10 more minutes left. So give me
okay.
a
I asked Sister Amira to click over and come on your program.
okay.
She
So
just
just give
called
her
me and I asked
okay.
her to come.
Give her just a
Okay,
minute to ask her question. Give us
but I had one last question
Please,
as
that's
okay.
to
Just
something that
hold
he
on.
said. I'll be
please, that's
quiet. I'll be quiet, but I'd like to
Just
come
yeah.
back.
Okay, I
Assalamualaikum.
will. We'll do that.
Please let
Awesome.
Sister Mahasan like my son. Please let Sister Mahasan go ahead because I want to hear what she said. This is so wonderful. She invited me over. I was trying to have a conversation with her, and she said, "Get on Blog Talk. I mean, get on Zoom right away." And I did, and I'm so happy that I did. But I would like for Sister Mahasan, I would like to give her this opportunity because I'm going to ask for a contact number from you all. This is my first time hearing you. And I'm so happy that Allah brought this forum forward. So please let her finish. And if any time left, I'll go ahead.
Absolutely. Alhamdulillah. And I believe if Brother William is putting his information in chat, and we can also give you
Mhm.
information on the show. We'll put that in chat as well. Okay, Sister Master.
Okay, it was in reference to his comment about the guide. I mentioned that there is a study guide that they use, but I'm assuming that it has a directional information, and more like what I had written in my question. Was there a checklist that he commonly uses to make sure prior to marriage that certain issues are addressed that comprise the contract that has to be signed off on? Is there a checklist
Yes, actually,
available?
I use two different things, right? One of them
Mm,
is I make reference to this because this is my background, right? The Nation of Islam has something that's called a courtship procedure, and it's quite extensive. In fact, it's a lot more extensive than what it used to be even 10 years ago. And it's really a protection for the brother and the sister, and it deals with finances, it deals with credit, it deals with it deals with visible means of income, and the children, former spouses, and do you have a divorce, did you get married at
mm,
courthouse,
mm,
do you have, like, it's
mm,
very, very extensive before the sister is even approached, right? uh, they have
yeah.
to pass the first officer, which is me. Then it has to pass the FOI captain, which that does. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it gets stopped right there. Brother, you got some work that you
Mhm,
need to do before you take on one of these sisters. And then, and then it
mhm,
goes to our student minister, and then it has to pass. So we have layers that we
mm.
go through before the sister is even told that there's a brother who is interested in her for marriage.
Alhamdulillah.
Then it goes to the sister captain, or the sister who is in charge of teaching the women, and they will say if the
Mhm,
sister is available for courtship, because she may say, I'm not interested in being married yet, I'm working on myself, I'm working on
mhm,
this or that, whatever that is. And then,
mhm,
you know, she's presented with those facts. This is long before a conversation is even had between the
mm,
two
mm,
about
mm,
being
mhm,
romantically involved, looking at marriage. All of this happens.
mhm,
It takes a long time if we're following the
mhm.
process, right? And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
so we use that in the Nation of Islam. So when believers come to my office, Brother William, our wedding is set for this day, and we need to put these things in order. Can you review these things with me? And absolutely, I will. But I'm
Mhm,
an impartial person. I have no ties to the brother
mhm,
or the sister. None of my family lives in California. None. They
mhm,
all live in New York, and my sister now lives in Pennsylvania. That's it,
mhm.
right? So
Alhamdulillah.
I'm impartial. I'm impartial, right?
Mhm.
Hold on one moment. I'm so sorry, guys.
Okay.
That's
And
okay.
while we wait for him, Brother Muhammad, I do see your hand up and you're next.
I'm
So
still here. I'm still here with my question.
Sister
Assalamualaikum.
Amira.
Well, just give me 1 minute. So I just wanted to, Brother Muhammad Sharif's hand was up too. So, okay, Sister Mira, I'm gonna have you when he returns, ask your question, then Brother Muhammad. We are getting close to close time, so I'm gonna ask you guys to be very succinct in your questions.
Okay. I'm like,
Please.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry about that, guys.
It's
So,
okay. You have
and then inside of I want to get to the second part of her question. But when it's some people who are not members of the Nation of Islam or not Muslims, I use something different, which is very similar to the thing. The questions are there, but they're very it's very direct and to the point. And I would strive to have somebody ask those questions who is not related to either one of you, but somebody partial in the middle. Not somebody
great.
who's pro sister and anti brother. Not somebody who's pro brother and anti sister. Let one from among you, right? Well, that's what Allah says. Let
Yes,
one from among you,
that's
right?
what it
So
does.
let's do that, but let's be just in it. It can't be a brother who actually
Mhm.
got a thing for the sister, so he's gonna say bad stuff. Ah, sister,
There you
you
go.
know, right? So we gotta be
Yes,
fair.
yes,
Is that
yeah,
fair?
yeah. That's fair, absolutely fair. I appreciate it so much. With your contact information, if you could just recite your one number on the
Yeah,
line, my chat is not working,
Let
and
me
I'll
have
be
you
in
that's
do that
okay.
touch.
again, Mr.
It is
Hassan. I want to get these last two questions in before we have to end the show. So
510.
I'll have him do that at the end. Okay.
Got it.
So give us 1 moment. Sister Amira,
Oh,
Sure.
you know what?
Thank you, Cheryl.
you're welcome.
I always tell people everything is in divine order. I had no clue that you were on today, and I'm dealing with a marriage situation myself, and this really speaks to the issue. And I will call Brother William with other things that I have, because I want to know what happens when you marry someone and they
Allahu
don't keep
Akbar.
their, and you run through so many things with them and they don't want to talk about it. There's no justice been done. What happens after the math? After what afterwards? Because there needs to be a conversation with both parties. When one party won't even step up to the plate and address the issue, and so mainly the sister is left like out in the lurch, and these things
Mhm.
can bring about mental, emotion, psychological trauma,
Sure, they
and
do.
we need to address these issues. And I'm just so glad that Allah blessed me through Sister Mahassan to get on this line, because this is a very pertinent subject in our community: marriage and divorce,
Absolutely.
sooner versus court marriage. And a lot of times they go into a sooner marriage and just say, well, if they tired of it, like you said, they start selecting from the menu what they want and what they don't want, and then
Right.
it winds up, I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you. And needs no accountability, responsibility, no maintenance. This conversation need to come back up here to this platform, because
I think it does. I
yes,
agree with you, sister
oh Lord, I tell
Amira.
you. And I'm gonna stop right there so someone else can talk. But we need to have a conversation, Brother William. Not only just me, probably many more people. So I know this conversation right here is in divine order. So thank you so much.
Yes, I agree, sister Amira. You know, one, there are very few things that Allah hates.
Mhm.
There's a bunch of things that He
Right,
dislikes, but there's only a
right.
very limited thing. Allah hates obesity, right?
Mm-hmm,
That doesn't mean somebody's
mm-hmm,
weighing big amount, you know. He doesn't like the overuse of a thing. Be it, you know, that's like interest on your body. We don't like that, right? But one of the most important things that He hates, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hates divorce. He hates it,
mm-hmm. That's
but there
right.
is a provision for it. We strive to work it out, right? But that conversation, you know, is definitely something that we have to have. We do have that conversation at Mosque 26 a lot because we don't want the
Mm,
believers divorcing, man. That's very hard on the believing body. It's
mm,
hard on the children. It's hard on each other.
mhm,
It destroys community.
mm,
So one, the brother needs to be counseled beforehand. You know, the sister needs to be counseled beforehand.
mhm,
Stop taking Islam and making it into your own thing to shield
mm,
your dirty religion.
mm,
That's how
mm,
Mr. Barkan puts it. We
That's
said,
right.
we learned 8 words of
Right.
Arabic and we act like we got it. And we're not following what it is that we're supposed to be doing. We're not using that example. So in the Nation of Islam, we're very, very particular about how the women are treated. So I can share those things with you. I'm happy to.
Love.
Thank you so
Love.
much.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Okay, Brother Sharif.
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
I have a statement and a question. My statement is, Sister Manira that's on the program now, she has a program come on every Tuesday called Courtship and Marriage.
Yes.
I hope we can get everyone to turn to that program tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Courtship and Marriage. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, my next question, well, maybe I have to hold this for another time because whether William is not causing a problem or anything like this, as time is happening, we seem to be coming together.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in Imam WD Muhammad's community, or are you in the Nation of Islam now?
I'm in the Nation of Islam.
Okay, that answers my question. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Alhamdulillah.
Those
Thank
are my
you.
uncles and
Can I
aunties,
say one thing?
man, there's my uncles and aunties.
Okay.
But
So,
can I say one thing? This is Samir. We have to
Yes.
ask ourselves, which of the favors of Allah will you deny? Allah sent
Yes.
His message to any and everybody He wants to. Our job is to receive it and to live it.
That's
So
right.
he opened up the doors for many. If you want, all you have to do is walk in there and grab what Allah has for you from whatever vehicle of good. It don't matter where you're from. Alhamdulillah,
That's
Rabbil
right.
Alamin.
Can I end with this?
yes.
Allah
Okay.
is Allah to
Sister
everyone, to
Taida, go ahead.
all. Allah is Allah to all human beings, all
Thank
humanity.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Allahu Akbar.
Thank
Allahu
you.
Akbar. Thank you for
Allahu
that.
Akbar.
We can learn from an ant.
Oh, I
Thank
can
you.
every day.
Thank you.
We can learn from a gopher. It's Allah's creation.
Ameen.
That's
Allah.
Who's
Allahu Akbar.
speaking now? Which sisters are speaking now?
I'm Sister Tawhida, Hajib Tawhida.
Well, thank you. Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. All right, you all. I know this conversation has been enriching and it's taken a lot. And I'm actually going to ask Brother William to come back because there's more we want to talk about when it comes to this. But in the meanwhile, Brother William, how can I get a hold of you?
Yes, you can call my phone 510-776-0722. Please try to call before 11 p.m. because I try to get paid at a decent time. If I don't answer, that's fine. Leave a voicemail, send a text message. You're able to do so. You can also email me personally at WRMuhammad, MUHAMMAD 26@gmail.com.
Okay, you guys have that? All right.
Yeah.
Repeat, please.
Yes.
www.
WR Muhammad, MUHAMMAD,
Okay.
26, the number 26 at gmail.com.
Thank you.
And the number again, Brother William?
It is 510-776-0722.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
And if any of you lose that little napkin that you're writing on, you figure out what a piece of paper is that you wrote this information on, you can contact us here at MAP5. We have the information. Personal relationship with Brother Muhammad. I just drive down the street and he's right there.
Right there.
So, right there.
So is this recorded? Is there a way we can get a recording of this?
Yes, it is recorded and it is also available on our YouTube channel as well as the CWSC website. The recordings. You'll get it there shortly after this session ends.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. With that, I want to be respectful of Brother William's time, taking him away from his mortgage paying job for 2 hours now. Time now. I'm with my mortgage paying job. So I do want to thank you, brother, for answering the call and for being here with so much information and a wealth of information. Uh, it's
Yeah.
it's it's so
Thank you.
timely and it's very, very important.
For
I think all
Sister
of us have
Cheryl,
dealt with this at some point. And so I'm going to ask my co-hosts to give their last comments before we log off. Madam Alaji-Sabrie.
I would just like to say to you and to Brother Fleming that Brother William did mention several times that he is from New York City.
That's right.
So I'm just saying,
I'm just coming
week
out.
after week, I listen to
Okay,
the
I
East
give.
Coast,
I give.
West Coast. So
I
I'm
give.
glad that
I
I got
give.
some back up today. Thank you.
That's
Oh, man.
Brother Fleming, see what you
Harlem
did to her.
Hospital.
Yeah.
See
Harlem
what you did to her.
Hospital.
that's
This
Harlem. It's
Yes.
on the border, Harlem Hospital.
Alhamdulillah.
this
Nothing wrong with
earth
the big.
this
Nothing
earth
wrong
is
with New York
gracious.
City. New York, New York, New York. Had some good times down there on Wall Street early in my life. So alhamdulillah for New York as a corporate banker. Brother, I want to really thank you again for your, stunning presentation. It was so meaningful and so relevant today. I just hope to believe I get into a lot of comments with my interfaith work on the need for us to really identify a serious discussion about these matters you just discussed on insurance and the reality of having final insurance, at least that, and enough insurance to take care of your family, at least for a little while, and your beloved wife, at least for a little while. That's the minimum responsibility you have. It's a personal responsibility. So we thank you for that, brother, very much so. And inshallah, we can get a chance to have part two
Yes,
of your
Yeah.
presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you again. And enjoy your spirit too.
I
By
enjoyed
all
your spirit
means.
too.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I have iPhone Lala. I'm not sure who that is, but iPhone Lala. Go ahead. You got like 30 seconds. We got to get off of here. Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum. Also, I was born in Harlem Hospital too, my brother. Alhamdulillah.
Oh, we just gonna have some New York
Harlem
shout outs.
Hospital in the house.
We just gonna have a family reunion here.
Yeah, we
Yeah, yeah. It's
doing New York shout outs now.
it's
New
New
York
reunion.
York,
shout
New
out. New
York.
York
There
shout
we
out.
go.
Okay.
There we go.
Listen,
Nicholas
Brooklyn, the
Jackson,
Staten Islands,
Coast
are
to
all on the whole
coast.
nine yards.
2008 Avenue.
Coast to coast.
That's
Los
it.
Angeles General Hospital.
Oh my
Hey.
goodness.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, sister.
Alhamdulillah.
I do want to say,
Yes.
yeah, part two. So you can always go on the CWSC website, give us some feedback, and tell us what you'd like to hear about in part two. I know that we will be talking about wills and durable power of attorney and health insurance and long-term disability, things like that. Brother William is well versed in that. And all of that is part of your financial planning. You go to the bank, you have a bank
Yes.
account, you have, a savings account, you should have your insurance. Think of it in that way. Don't think of it as an extra, or it's a must have, just like you must have some kind of banking system. Under your mattress don't work.
No, it doesn't.
Don't keep it in your shoes. That don't work. And
No.
then I
No.
do want to talk, we're going to talk disaster preparation. We see the world is on fire. We see the world is
Yes.
dealing with rain and in extreme conditions, whether it's hot or cold, and earthquakes and hurricanes and tornadoes. And so that disaster preparation is extremely important, and that is also
Yes.
part of our responsibilities. I
Yes.
see
That's for
Brother
sure.
Fleming, you
That's
are
for
in
sure.
the car. Are
I
you stopped?
I
You
can
look
do the
like you
prayer.
stopped.
I stopped.
Okay,
I
you look like you
stopped so you
stopped.
can say
Okay,
a
good.
prayer.
You know my question. You know my question. So I'm gonna
Cheryl,
have.
Yes.
I'm gonna.
Cheryl, can I
Yes,
interrupt just one more time? Because I just got a
absolutely.
notice. I put in
Yes.
the chat, those who participated in the Congo Peace Campaign, the Congo
Yes.
Prayer Peace Campaign, there's a quarterly
Yes.
meeting tonight, and I put the Zoom meeting ID in the chat. It's 867-9523-8353, and it's at 7 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. So
Would you
those who want
repeat that
to,
again, that link, please?
it's
Repeat
the
the
meeting ID.
86.
Just use the meeting ID of 867-9523-8353, and that's on Zoom
Okay.
USA.
Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you,
Code
sister.
with the passcode.
Pardon me.
7.
Is there a passcode?
7 p.m. Eastern time.
No, is there a passcode with this?
No, I didn't receive a passcode with it, just a meeting ID.
One
No
last,
Okay.
how do
No
we follow you? How do we need more of this here on a regular basis? How do we can stay in contact with you?
You
As a
can
whole.
you can reach us if you log on to CWSC dot US. No, is that right? Dot US. We have all of the programs listed there by day, Sunday through Saturday, and MAP5
Okay.
is every Monday. You know, inshallah, 10, no, so 12 o'clock Midwest, 1 o'clock on that East Coast on that side, 10 o'clock on the Base Coast.
Okay. Alhamdulillah.
Every
Alhamdulillah.
Monday,
Oh, man.
inshallah. And we change
Sister Cheryl, I like what you said about disaster preparedness, and I'd
yes.
like to contribute some information on becoming a certified health care proxy per family. So at any time, we can bring that. Mhm.
Let's talk offline and we can get that in on the show. So with that, I do
Excellent. Thank you.
want to ask Brother Fleming. He's gonna pray us out, and then I will give you your last words, grandmother's words, your abuela's words. But first, Brother Fleming.
Brothers and sisters, we started off with Al-Fatiha, the beginning of the Holy Quran. We will end with Al-Nas, the last chapter in the Holy Quran, but I'll recite it in English for the benefit of our full audience here. In the name of Almighty God, most gracious, most merciful, say I seek refuge with the Lord and cherisher of mankind, the King or ruler of mankind, the Allah or judge of mankind, from the evil whisperer, the same who whispers into the hearts of men and jinn, then withdraws after his whisper. Amen.
Man.
Me.
With that, I tell you to stay prayerful, stay politically engaged, stay philanthropic, and do something for someone without the expectation of anything in return. No spotlight. Don't put it on LinkedIn or Facebook, or don't make a TikTok. Some of you should not be on TikTok. Don't make it on TikTok. Don't put it on X. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. And as my grandmother used to say to us, wisdom does not come from speaking, it comes from listening. So I appreciate all of you tuning in and listening and being a part of our audience. And then I will say my saying is on my wall at work: better to be roughly right than precisely wrong.
Amen.
Take care of business. Take care of business,
Yes.
take care of your family. And
Yes.
be roughly right in all of your doings
Amen.
and not
Amen.
precisely wrong. With that, I
Sister
will
Cheryl,
say
before you say that one thing, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but to remind folks, the next 2 weeks, the 15th and the 22nd of this month, we will have Imam Muhammad Abdullah Alim, who will be bringing a presentation on the Quran and the Constitution and our responsibility as citizens. So
yes.
we invite everyone to join that next Monday and the following Monday. And there is a document he's asked us to read in preparation. And if we can, Imam Muhammad's book, if you already have it, on Al-Islam and American Democracy. You can get that on Audible too for 99 cents if you don't regularly have Audible. But I just wanted people to know that.
Yes, so do your homework.
Yes.
You have homework. I thank you for that reminder. And
Say
these they
the title again on Islamic and democracy.
Imam Muhammad's book on Al-Islam and American Democracy by Imam W.D. Muhammad. It
Okay.
is available on Audible, and you can get it. You can listen to it for free for 30 days, and then I think it's 99 cents after that if you don't have an Audible subscription.
Okay. Thank you.
okay. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. So that's on the 15th and the 22nd. Those 2 Mondays. And then we'll wrap up the year with a year wrap up on the 29th. But next, so inshallah, we will see you all here at 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central, at 10 o'clock on the West Coast.
Possibly
Yes.
interrupting, that is, I would like to tell the brother William that I have the latest issue of the Final Call magazine, which I get every week. The Final Call.
Allahu Akbar.
It says the name Fleming El-Amin on the front page.
Yeah, I'm in that paper. My picture's in.
Where's your picture?
I think it's like on page 4 where it talks about the brothers soldiering pushing the final call. If you look at the bottom of it, it'll say Oakland, California. It's me and Brother Kersai and another gentleman. I don't know who he was. He wanted to take a picture, and it got and we put it in the final call.
I got it. I
Okay.
got it.
Okay.
All right, brother.
All right.
We appreciate you.
Okay.
To let people know
Remember Allah,
also,
Allah remember you.
I mean,
Alhamdulillah, that's good.
in the chat, I've uploaded the ebook that Imam Muhammad Abdullah Leen recommends that we read. So it's a PDF. If you go in the chat, you can get that right now, inshallah.
Yeah. So you want, I'll leave it open for a few minutes so that you can do that. Sister Tahida, were you trying to say something?
No, there was a mirror. I was trying to find out how do you copy. I see that PDF file. How do you copy it so that you can save it for yourself?
Okay, so you can't copy it, but what you can do is, if you see it in the chat, there's a little blue arrow pointed down next to the PDF, and you can click on that and then save it. Or if you hover your mouse to the right of the word version, you should see an arrow with a line underneath it, and that means download. So you should be able to download it. If you click there, it will download to your computer, and then if you go in and you could just save it to wherever you want it. Okay.
Okay, but if you're on the phone, I'm on my phone, not the computer. But what if I'm on my phone? How do I save it?
So if you're on your phone, you can open it
I got it.
you can open the document. So if you click on it, it'll ask you if you want to open it. And then you can email it to yourself, which is what I did.
It looks like it's just opening up. It's not allowing you to download it or email it. You can only open it up and look at it.
Well, I did download it. But yes, but if you want to, you can just open it and then just email it to yourself.
Not working.
You should be able to just, if you push on where it has the PDF symbol, the little red symbol, you should be able to open it.
Can someone please, because it's not allowing me to do it. Someone, maybe, I'm sorry about this. Can you please put the email?
Sister Cheryl, could we have a number for you, Sister Cheryl, if you don't mind?
Or put the email. Just put the email in there.
Let me put my email in here, and then if you contact me, Sudduth, we will get it to you. And Sister Amira, you wanted some more information as well.
Yes,
so my email is in the chat. So if
I'll put mine in there.
Sister Amatullah, we will get it to you.
Could you just call it out? I'm sorry, sister, I have a vision problem in small writing. I can't grasp it. Can you just call it out for me, Cheryl?
Okay, just 1 second. All right. Everybody get your quills ready. Get your ink pen, get your crayons.
Got it.
Whatever you got. Are you ready? Get a lipstick. I don't know. It's Sudduth. C S as in Sam, U, D as in David, D as in David, U, T as in Tom, H is in Hajar.
One more time.
7 at yahoo.com. Again, it's CSUDDUTH 7 at yahoo.com. When you send the message, also copy Miss Amatullah at negotiate88 at gmail.com. I will spell it out. NEGOTIATE 88 at gmail.com. That's N as in Nancy, E as in ego, G as in, I don't know,
God.
Gamma, O,
God.
T as in Tom, I, A, T as in Tom, E, 8 8@gmail.com.
I'm
All
sorry.
right.
Yes,
I just
ma'am.
texted to you, Sister Mary. You should have it on text.
Okay.
Thank you,
Alhamdulillah.
Ishmael.
Expediting, huh?
Yeah,
Alhamdulillah.
Ishmael is great. All right, with that, I want to say to you, gracias. Thank you, shukran.
Right.
Appreciate you. And Brother William, you'll hear from me again, okay?
Soon we hope. Soon we hope.
Please forgive me.
Very interactive.
You just don't want me to rap it, sir.
No, we don't. We don't.
Apparently they don't.
We do not. This has been a interactive meeting.
Go ahead, Brother Sher.
Yeah, could you possibly bring Brother William back on next week? Is it possible?
No, it's
Not
not.
next,
Not
not
next
next.
week.
Next week we have the chronic study, but I can bring him back. I will work with his schedule to get him back as soon as possible. How about that, Brother
We're
Sharif?
gonna hold you to it.
That's great.
I-
We'll hold you to it.
I have you covered.
Promise.
He and I have already talked about it. Brother Muhammad is here. He has been waiting to speak to you all. And this is our schedules weren't syncing, but I will bring him back as immediately as possible.
Okay.
Because
Okay, I'll work with his schedule, right, William?
Yeah,
Brother William?
yes, you will. But I'm going to work with that. I want to come back so soon because I'm excited to talk to all of you all. It has really, really made my day. I'm
Yeah.
overjoyed to
Alhamdulillah.
see the
We are
believers
too.
here, the
We are
believers.
too.
Yeah, we are. It's
Do you
all
have any
love.
other do you
The
have
love
any
is
other
everywhere.
platforms that you do you have any other platforms that you speak on, Brother William?
No, not really. Not really. You know, sometimes I do a disaster preparedness blog talk with my brother Rudolph, who is the head of the Bedford-Stuyvesant Volunteer Ambulance Corps.
Are we going
And
back to New York?
yes, back to New York. But most of the time, no, not out here. I just kind of, when people ask me to come, I will do my best. I will come to your masjid. I will come to believe me. All you need to do is say, hey, come on, I'm coming. And I
Yes.
will eat your food because I went to Imam W.D. Muhammad's masjid in Oakland. That's right on Bond during the Eid and could not eat enough.
I mean,
It was so good.
Alhamdulillah. So, but I will, and we'll talk about it, Brother Muhammad. We may just have just a special session.
And just talk.
Special
Can't you see that we are hungry?
we
just
are
talk
so
about it.
hungry.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Let me work
And
on it. Let me work on it.
we're needy. We need this
No,
nutrition. We need it.
I agree. I agree. And so let me work on it, and I'll work with Brother Muhammad and Sister Amatullah, Brother Fleming, and this might just be a special session. And
Yeah.
Sister Martha, she's still here. Yeah, and Sister Martha. This may just be one of those special sessions that because we must have this information on an information to and invite other people to participate and to log on. With that, I am going to call it.
Okay.
I'm going to say that's a wrap.
Right.
All
We
right.
appreciate
Thank
you all.
Welcome.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank
Assalamu
you.
alaikum, everyone.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Alhamdulillah.
And a